Tell us your name. Take off your glasses. The name is Humongous. What? Humongous what? Humongous what? Humongous what? Humongous what? Humongous what? He speaks to me in a sexually assaulting way. He said, he said, humongous. What? He was harassing me, and now the harasser is you. 10 weeks later, this Zarna Joshi video is internalized oppressions, and you will learn this about this way. The women that don't agree, you have this. Yes, very, very mad, very, very sad. Feel not good about who I am, so say everything that I can think of to try and hurt a boy. Yeah, and it's okay because the boy is very powerful. That is what I can imagine. That is what I can imagine. But I still am so sad. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. Don't be so mean. Come on, you guys. Don't be so mean by... Yeah, when people are mean to you, it means they're very, very sad. So don't be mean to them, okay? Just kind of be like, alright, you know? Because then you're gonna have a better day and they're gonna have a better day if you just don't have that fight with them. Come on. Especially online, you know? It's like so easy to just just let them. You can even laugh. That's the great thing about being online. Like, if someone were a jerk to you in real life, it would be antagonistic to laugh in their face. But if someone writes a lot of hateful shit to you, you can just crack the fuck up, you know? Just turn it into, like, a great joke. You know what I mean? You know? Um... yeah. And when you actually are having like a discussion, when it's not just an argument, say um say that you like point out things in their argument that you like, you know? I find that just that little thing, if you can just find one thing to say, I agree with you on this point, instead of just like trashing the entire thing, you can just do that. It makes the discussion go so much better, you know? And at the end of the day, it's like maybe you're even giving them too much credit. Like, maybe it doesn't necessarily make sense for your argument to be pointing out the correct things in theirs, or like you're talking about something that, you know, goes without saying, like you're acting more impressed than you are. But in doing so, you will end up learning so much more, because it will cause the conversation to continue, and it will make the person feel comfortable really expressing their views with you. So if you're it's like an art, you know, people aren't computers, you know? So just saying all of these facts and then all of those facts, it's not going to work that well, because you guys still have personalities, you know? And once one of you is pissed off, the whole thing derails, you know? And I just, I feel like that's 99% of conversations on the internet. But it doesn't mean that you can't have great conversations on the internet. I have them all the time, but you just have to have that intention. And I think that works with everyone. I mean, everyone. I don't think there's a single person online that won't respond well to being treated well, you know? Like I've had people say the most horrendous shit to me ever. And if you respond back to them nicely, you know, if you just say like I accept you, you know, like they it gets really hard for them to keep being a jerk. Like I had someone be like, I don't accept you, question mark, or something. He's just like, how do I bully you? Like I don't really know, you know. It's like it confuses them, you know. And I don't know. But with the you know, I don't even want to call it feminism because it's not feminism. It's like just insecure women. Just like I don't know, man. Like you really gotta have that fight. Like I feel like I am a little bit of a feminist in the you know sense of what the term is supposed to mean, and that's why I don't like this shit because it's the least feminist thing that could exist to have these situations where women are basically just like putting men up so high and creating such a drastic difference between men and women that anything that a man says or anything that a woman says to a man is fine because men are so high and powerful and women are so weak that like they can just say whatever they want to you, you know, like that's just I feel like that is the epitome of defining, you know, gender roles in this way. That's like, uh, yeah, in some ways that I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I mean, I don't really buy it. I mean, I get that men are dominant in other species. I get that society has shaked out this way. Not, you know, you know, I mean, like all things being equal, why are there differences? You know, like that is a legit question. I understand why they perpetuate, you know, but why did they come to be this way initially? I mean, that's not something feminists really address, and is definitely the most valid argument for there being these differences. I think that says a lot more than these sort of biology arguments, which, you know, I've said before, like I don't buy any of this shit about like interpreting biology, interpreting like this fucking gad sad shit of like having some clever little idea and then using logic to prove, you know, like why people like the Kardashians or something according to their biology. Like that's not intelligence. It's being a fucking idiot. Like any fucking artist or lawyer knows that you can craft an argument around fucking anything. It doesn't prove shit, you know? But regardless, you know, when I think about it broadly, it's like, it's easy to say, yeah, there is this sort of dominance with men, but then if I just look at my like interactions socially, like that isn't necessarily the case. Like, you know, like the woman that I buy rice from, you know, I give her money and she gives me rice, and like I don't feel a sense of like that I'm dominant in that relationship, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I have any power over this person, you know. more so than if it were a man or whatever. Like, so so that's sort of what bothers me. Um, I guess is the intense anti-feminism I come across in what is labeled as feminism, you know, by people who label themselves as feminists. I find it rather irritating and sad, and I mean it's not it's definitely not as big of a problem as I feel like. I just feel like there's this. I don't even know. Man, that's really tough. Some people are just closed off, and for some reason, I don't know if women feel this way, but as a man, I feel that with other men, I can kind of, you know, I'm not gonna, I feel like women sort of romanticize the idea that men like all get along with each other. That isn't true at all. But what is true is that some women make it very, very difficult to establish any type of relationship with them. Whereas men don't necessarily do that to other men. So it doesn't mean that they respect you or they, think anything of you or do everything that they can to bring you down. Like, yeah, of course I have friends, but then, I think the majority of people are kind of in competition with everybody else just by nature of life. I don't know if majority, but you come across these types of people, men and women. Um, but with women, I feel like there can just be this initial like need to distance themselves, and that gets exacerbated when when life is looked at as like you are my oppressor, Um, you know, I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. This is kind of a new thing for me to talk about here. Um, how that works and sort of just the um this may be getting into another topic, but the I'm not sure. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna start talking like an SJW. Like I'm gonna be criticizing it, but trying to make sure that I don't hurt any feelings. And I feel like I should really be able to be more off the cuff. Like, I don't know. I'll talk about that more at some point. But Elon Musk has really done some incredible things with Tesla, as well as his mission to Mars and other space projects with NASA. He's sort of like a smart science and computers guy. Not so much like Mark Zuckerberg. Like he isn't as into the like social media aspect, but more like science and technology and kind of like um, doing things with robots and sort of like this very futuristic. Like if you think about futuristic stuff, like everything, people becoming like superheroes because of science. Like he's sort of your guy for that type of thing. And because of that, because he's so smart and so able, he's become incredibly well connected and can actually do stuff with NASA. Like, you normally think you have to like go to school and kind of have some approval from like the government to like become like a NASA guy, and he's got all that, but like not through the way that other people did it. You know, he didn't like become hired by NASA. Like, it wasn't like he applied for a job with them. It was like they went to him almost. Like, they're like, "Hey, can you help us out?" And the world can work like that some ways. Like, if you've really got like people that knew stuff about like not El Chapo, uh the fuck, what is Pablo Escobar. Um you know, like the government will work with them. Like, if you have something valuable, they'll work with you. It's like they're all people at the end of the day, you know, and they're willing to bend and break the rules, and probably even have rules allowing for that. Um, Kind of like how you know, some people just get hired at big companies because they're famous. You know, or like how Arnold Schwarzenegger became president. Like, it just works that way. Um, so yeah. Um, Thanks so much for watching, guys. Um, Really appreciate it. Um, yeah, thank you. Goodbye.